Most people think Roth conversions are a straightforward win. You pay taxes now, you never pay taxes again. That sounds simple and easy. Here's the part almost nobody tells you. In some situations, a Roth conversion can actually increase taxes in areas that you never thought about. This could be triggering higher Medicare premiums, creating additional tax consequences on your Social Security income, or missing out on other key tax strategies, all from a move that was supposed to save you money. And if you get this wrong, it can quietly drain tens of thousands of dollars from a retirement you spent decades building. So before you convert a single dollar, let me show you exactly how this plays out in the real world. A client came in to see me a few months ago. They were smart, disciplined, and had done everything right. For years, their previous advisor had told them the same thing: convert as much as you can to Roth. So they did. When we actually looked under the hood, their taxes had gone up more than expected, more of their Social Security had become taxable, and their Medicare premiums had jumped. And they missed out on other strategies such as taking advantage of 0% capital gains rates on some of their investment sales, all because of this one strategy, all from something that was supposed to help them. So they looked at me and they said something I haven't really forgotten. They said, "Why didn't anyone tell us how it all worked together?" So that's exactly what we're going to fix today. Before we get into the specifics, let's reset one belief. Roth conversions are not inherently good or bad. They're a tool, a very strategic, and when used correctly, very positive tax planning tool. And like any tool, when used correctly, they're powerful. But use them incorrectly, they're very expensive. So here are 5 things most advisors won't tell you about Roth conversions. Number 1, the hidden tax stack. Most people assume a Roth conversion simply means paying tax on whatever amount that they convert. That sounds straightforward enough, but here's really what happens. That conversion doesn't occur in isolation. It stacks on top of other existing income, which means that it could push you into a portion of your income that's in a higher bracket than you had anticipated. If you're already receiving Social Security, it gets more complicated. Your conversion can cause more of your Social Security benefit to become taxable, meaning you're not just paying taxes on the converted amount, you're potentially increasing taxes on income that you were already receiving. This is the hidden tax stack, and if you don't model it carefully before you convert, you're not planning, you're simply guessing. Number 2, the Medicare trap most people miss. And here's when it gets even more consequential. Medicare premiums are based on income, and Roth conversions increase your reported income, technically raising the key figure known as modified adjusted gross income or MAGI, which means a large conversion today can trigger significantly higher Medicare premiums 2 years from now through something called IRMAA, the Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. Most people don't even know IRMAA exists until they receive a notice and they see that they've unknowingly crossed this income threshold by a small amount and suddenly pay thousands more per year for Medicare coverage, all because of a conversion they thought was working in their favor. The same strategy, just completely different outcomes than expected, because nobody modeled these downstream consequences of converting. Number 3, you might be crowding out other potentially better tax planning opportunities. Here's something sophisticated planners think about that rarely gets discussed. Every year, you have a finite amount of what I'd call tax efficient space for your income. You can realize at lower tax rates before crossing into other different levels of tax brackets. The mistake here is that many end up filling this bracket entirely with those Roth conversions without considering whether that's actually the best use of that space. Because that same space maybe could be used for something like tax-free capital gains harvesting, strategic withdrawals at lower rates, or other moves that might deliver more value in your specific situation. And so the question isn't simply, should I convert? The question is this the best use of my available tax base for this specific year? That's a meaningfully different question, and the answer is not always the same. Different for people, different in different years. And then number 4, the timing problem that often becomes an issue is just converting at the wrong time. They convert when their income is already high, it's already elevated, which is precisely when conversions are the least efficient. The real opportunity is in what I call the gap years. This would be the window of time between you retiring and when those required minimum distributions or your RMDs begin. Today, that age for most folks is going to be in your 70s. For most people, that's usually age 75 although depending upon what year you're born, it still could be age 73. So during that period, your taxable income is often at its lowest point in decades, which means you can convert at substantially lower favorable rates than you'll ever potentially see again. Miss that window and you may find yourself converting later at higher rates when you have more income and under more financial pressure, with fewer options to decide what to do. It's one of the most consistently overlooked planning opportunities that I see, and it's very time sensitive just by definition. The number 5, think about the generational advantage most people overlook. Let me ask a different question here. Do you want to leave money to your children or someone else? Because this is where these Roth conversions become genuinely powerful in a way that most people never consider. When your heirs, when your children perhaps inherit these Roth assets, they can withdraw those with no taxes. They are tax-free inherited. They are tax-free when withdrawn by the beneficiary. So no future tax burden, no uncertainty about what tax rates will look like for them in 20 or 30 years down the road. This is very clean, very efficient, and very predictable. Compare that to traditional tax-deferred accounts where every dollar a child draws out is taxed as ordinary income at whatever rate applies to them at that point. Yes, you may pay more in taxes today, but you could be eliminating an enormous tax burden for the people that you care about most. And that's a completely different way to think about this decision. And for many people, it changes the calculus entirely. So instead of asking, should I do a Roth conversion? Ask these 5 questions first. Number 1, what tax bracket am I in now compared to where I'll likely be later? Number 2, will this conversion cause more of my Social Security to be taxable? And am I okay with that? Number 3, could this trigger higher Medicare premiums through the IRMAA adjustments? Number 4, and is this the best use of my available tax-efficient space for this specific year, or is a different strategy perhaps better? And number 5, does leaving a tax-free legacy to your children sound ideal to you? Because again, if it's different beneficiaries, it may not be a tax you want to prepay. If you can't answer all 5 questions clearly, you're making a partial decision, and partial decisions in retirement tend to lead to full consequences. The reality of the situation is that this isn't just a tax question. It requires integrating Social Security timing, investment withdrawal sequencing, tax bracket management, and doing this over multiple years while also thinking about healthcare, long-term care cost planning, and also your overall legacy goals. Putting this all into one coordinated strategy. That's why most do-it-yourself approaches fall short. Not because people aren't capable, because there's so many variables that are constantly interacting. One decision changes another, and everything else can change based on what decision is made. And most of the consequences, unfortunately, don't show up not this year, but maybe till years later when you're really unexpecting it the most. So this is exactly what we build for clients at Cornerstone Wealth Planning. Not just a conversion analysis, but a coordinated retirement strategy that connects all of the pieces so nothing works against something else. This is exactly why we build fully integrated retirement plans for our clients. If you want to see what that looks like for your specific situation, please click the link in the description to watch the free training or to schedule a call with our team. Because the biggest mistake with Roth conversions isn't avoiding them or doing them, it's doing them without understanding how they fit completely with the rest of your plan. When you get that right, every decision is connected, every decision is coordinated, and that's when retirement stops feeling like a series of guesses and starts feeling like a strategy. Predictable income, lower lifetime income taxes, and the confidence of knowing you haven't missed something critically important. Click the link below to schedule a call or to watch the free training. We'll walk you through your numbers, show you where the real opportunities are, and just importantly, where the hidden risk might be waiting. Because the goal isn't to save taxes this year, it's to optimize your entire retirement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.